So for my next little project here, I'm going to build a roof structure for this irrigation pump. The last one lasted maybe about 3.5 years. These things aren't cheap. This is like $400. About every 6 months or so I'd have to clean out this area because the ants would build a nest. I guess they like electricity. So when I just redid this, I put this little tub here just to try to keep some of this dirt away from the motor to hopefully prevent the ants building so quickly inside of here. So anyway, I'm going to build like a little structure here just to try to protect this from the elements as well, because this isn't totally sealed. It's just a plastic cover. So let's get to work. So my wife will be happy once I get rid of this fencing. One of my friends was redoing his fence at his house, and he was throwing this out, so I just grabbed a couple sections of it because I figured, well, this isn't going to rot inside of the ground, so it's better than a pressure treated. So I'm going to use this to help build the frame for this roofing structure I'm going to be putting on the pump. So we just got back from Home Depot. I'll cut this down. This is what we're going to use for the roof section. And I've got more than what I need, so I'm just going to have a little extra here. Well, this other section of fence must have a lot better glue, because I tried doing the same thing and I've got sharp edge and it actually broke into the bottom of this, and then this one just snapped off. This glue just doesn't give out. Looks like doesn't look that bad, because I wanted to use these pieces as the pieces that touch the ground and then use these sections for the framing. So let me work on this a little bit more. I don't want to damage these that much, but let's move on. Well, it didn't come off as easy, so this piece is damaged, but I'll be cutting this off and this off. I do have a hole in it right here, but that should be fine. I'll put that to the inside. And then I do have a crack here. I'll salvage what I can. Oh, sorry. That was an accident. Do not spray me. That was an accident. Sorry. So just lightly spray your arms off into the bucket. Kind of look like a little Martian, though. You got it up on your higher up arm. Sorry about that. That was an accident. Yeah, just get like the first layer of dirt off of all of them. On both sides, please. I can't get these caps off. They're like glued in too tight, so I'm just gonna stop cutting them off. That worked. So my original intention was to drive these down into the ground and have them stand up, I don't know, about this tall off the ground, and then just have the roof removable. And then my friend down the street, he built one for his house, and the whole thing just lifts up. He doesn't have anything in the ground, so saves me from borrowing his post hole digger to do this. So let me start doing a little bit of measuring. So I need you help hold this post upright for me. So here, let me get it set up. That's good. So if you can hold it like that, please. Thank you. Now, because the ground's not perfectly level and there's going to be some settling, I'm going to go about 1 inch higher than the mark that I did, because I also want to put like a little spike on the bottom of this thing so it sets in a little better. Alright, I'll screw these in, make sure it's square. Probably need to run some sort of brace on these two. I'll have to figure out how to do that in a minute. So I've got it in place, although these front pieces here, they don't give it much side to side strength, so I need to get like some sort of bracket either underneath here or like an L bracket down here. Let me see what I can find. So anytime I've ever like changed out a ceiling fan or fixture or built a piece of furniture, I've saved little bits of everything because you never know when you might need it. This is all what I came up with. I only have one right angle bracket And then these pieces, I don't know what they're for, but I think I can bend them to the shape that I need. So here's how I think I'm going to do the roof. My friend had his roof angled over. I'm going to have this like lean down into the pond. So I've got this other scrap piece of vinyl fencing. It's a little taller than this. So I'll fasten it down here, then here, then down on that end. And I should be done. So I really only need about a 41-inch piece, two of them. If I split this in half, I'll have 48 inches, 7 more inches on each, the front and the back, split, 3.5 inches front to back extra. I don't know, I might do that because I've never cut this before and I don't want to totally mar it up. So yeah, let me just cut it for 48 inches and see how that looks, and if not, I'll just trim it up. So it's pretty darn close to level all the way around. This thing is removable, so it's not going to be perfect, but it's be close. Alright, well, it's now completed. So I did have 2 errors. When I was screwing down the first thing, I didn't see that these 2 pieces shifted, so I'll trim that little sharp piece off. And then I missed there on that screw. But otherwise, there goes a success. Thank you, Matt, for giving me the old pieces of your fence. And if there's a hurricane headed our way, I'll just lift this thing up and put it on the back porch or something somewhere. Alright, thanks for watching. So it's the next day. My wife said, well, functional, I created an eyesore for her, so she asked me to camouflage this thing. So it would be nice if we could put shrubs around it, but then that would limit when I have to go in and work on it. So the irrigation system was on today and this morning, and see, it did get a little wet, so I'm going to let it bake in the sun here, dry off, and then get to camouflaging this. So I'll use the same technique sort of to paint the covering for the irrigation pump, similar to what I did for the AR-15. Link should be there. So let me let this thing dry and then I'll start painting. So she also asked me if I could paint some of the PVC as well. So when we're sitting on the back porch, you can't see the tub, or really this back part. Most of this is blocked, if you're looking from the front yard to the back, but I'll just put a little coat of paint on that. I'm not going to paint the motor or the electrical because you can't see that it's below grade here. So I'm going to just cover that up with a trash bag. I think that turned out pretty good. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Now I'm going to start working on the top. I was just chatting with my friend about what my wife said, and he goes, orange is camouflage. Yeah, I don't think she'd appreciate it if I painted this thing orange. Alright, I got the top done. I'll fill it in and add some more colors, but that's done now. We'll start working on the legs. Okay, here's it now. I think it blends in pretty good for when you're inside the back porch looking out. Alright, I think it turned out okay. I could do a little touch up right there by the connection to the pump. Nobody's really going to see the top. It was mostly just this part right here that you see. Alright, thanks for watching again. Bye-bye.